Justin Trudeau wants you to know he's a feminist. He literally won't shut up about what a feminist he is. Today I'm making the case for why he's not, and I'm going to tell you how you can help me spread the word.
Snapshot, there's lots of things you can do to be a better feminist as a man, but here's a simple one. Don't interrupt women.
Well, first of all, I'm going to keep saying loud and clearly that I am a feminist until...
Hear me roar.
Until it is met with a shrug.
Your cabinet, you said, looks a lot like Canada, and I understand one of the priorities for you was to have a cabinet that was gender balanced. Why was that so important to you?
Because it's 2015.
But now it's 2019, and the proof of the pudding is in the eating, as they say, after 4 long years. After all the cheap, braggadocious talk and constant virtue signaling for women's votes, it's indisputable. Justin Trudeau is a fake feminist, and I want to tell as many people as possible about that. I've got a plan for a billboard truck exposing Justin Trudeau as a fake feminist. But first, let's make the case and lay out all of our evidence. We've all seen that video of him bragging to the media about how he appointed a 50% female cabinet because it was 2015. Now, only about a quarter of his MPs are women, so he overrepresented them in cabinet, appointing them not because of merit or skill set, but instead strictly to meet an arbitrary quota and to show everyone that Justin Trudeau was different from stuffy old conservative Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Trudeau would be hip and media savvy and warm. Warm to the point of being weird and professionally inappropriate, if you think about it. As you're watching this, ladies at home, think to yourself, how would your husband feel if your male boss did these things to you every time you greeted him? And men, how would you feel if your wife's male boss behaved the way I'm about to show you? Just look at all these very handsy photos of Justin Trudeau with the women he keeps around him. Look at his hand on the small of the back of new Governor General Julie Payette, and this weird embrace of his Environment Minister, Catherine McKenna. He gave the same sort of hug to former Cabinet Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould back when Justin Trudeau still thought he could control her. We'll get to her in a second. Then there was the enthusiastic hugging of Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland, who once claimed that she collapsed at Trudeau's feet, laying down on his office floor from exhaustion after sealing the USMCA trade agreement with the United States and Mexico. Look at Justin Trudeau here, welcoming Democratic Institutions Minister Karina Gould into his cabinet. Look at the bizarre placement of his hands on her waist. Here is former Cabinet Minister Jane Philpott in the clutches of her powerful male boss too. But Justin Trudeau, well, he doesn't just do this grab act to the women in his cabinet. He also does this bizarre hands-on stuff with women in the public too. This is Kathy Kachula. She spoke out at a Justin Trudeau town hall, telling him how Ontario's crushing energy policies under the Win Liberals were driving her into energy poverty. Look at the bizarre hold Trudeau has on her. She begged Trudeau for help, he hugged her, and then he ghosted her, as the kids say. And just for fun, even though I know France's president is a man, Trudeau does the same sort of face-grabby, full-body, pelvis-to-pelvis pressing of President Macron into his bosom that he does to women. What all these photos demonstrate is not that Trudeau is warm and gregarious, but rather that he is a misogynist. That tactic of touching is a control move commonly used by pickup artists. It plays on female emotions to manipulate them in the moment, while showing women just who's the boss. Now let me show you what happens when Trudeau gets around men. I mean, slightly more manly men than President Macron. Look at this weird handshake between Trudeau and United States President Trump. It was so awkward that it went viral. Then there was this super cringy three-way handshake between Justin Trudeau, Obama, and Mexico's Peña Nieto. I mean, good Lord. And then there was that time Justin Trudeau wandered around aimlessly, looking to be acknowledged by President Trump at the G20 summit in 2017. Trudeau was like a high school girl wandering past her crush's locker, looking to be noticed. Trudeau can't pull his pickup artist stuff with the alpha males. Now let's take a look at what Trudeau's brand of girl power looks like in practice over the last 4 years. Some of his more recent great moments in Trudeau feminism. Earlier this year, the Prime Minister's office was heavily pressuring Canada's first female Aboriginal Attorney General, Jody Wilson-Raybould, to cut a deal to defer the prosecution of a corrupt Quebec-based company called SNC-Lavalin. According to Trudeau, he admitted to asking her to revisit her decision not to cut them a sweetheart deal. When Wilson-Raybould refused to sacrifice her principles and her ethics for a few votes for Justin Trudeau in Quebec, he nuked her career and removed her from cabinet. And what about that Quebec-based company, SNC-Lavalin, that our feminist prime minister appeared to be so keen to protect? Well, they paid for $30,000 worth of prostitutes for Muammar Gaddafi's son, footing the bill for a spoiled dictator's kid to exploit vulnerable women on Canadian soil. In the wake of all that undue political pressure being put on Jody Wilson-Raybould, Justin Trudeau's president of the Treasury Board, another woman, Jane Philpott, resigned her role in cabinet in solidarity with her friend, stating that she needed to abide by her core values, ethical responsibilities, and constitutional obligations. Now in 2016, when another woman, interim Conservative leader Rona Ambrose, introduced a motion to call what ISIS has done crimes against humanity, targeting Christians and Yazidis and other ethnic minorities in Syria and Iraq, the Liberals refused to vote in favor of it, except for 4. But feminist Justin Trudeau, well, he personally stood to vote against the motion that would declare the sex slavery, rapes, starvation, and murders targeting Yazidis and Christians by the Islamic State as part of a genocide. And our feminist prime minister also has no problem speaking at sex-segregated mosques. Here he is at one, ironically talking about Canadian values while smiling and addressing the women where they were corralled away from the men. Here.
As I look at this beautiful room with the sisters upstairs, everyone here.
In January 2018, Trudeau called for an independent investigation after then Cabinet Minister Kent Hare was accused of making lewd remarks to a former staffer. So far, so good, but not really. Don't get your hopes up. Women who worked in the vicinity of Hare feared being in an elevator with him and his roaming hands and his creepy mouth. Now, the report from that independent investigation was blocked from release by Hare, preventing it from being made public, denying the women involved closure and public validation. But Hare these days, well, he's back in the Liberal fold, running for re-election. Feminist Trudeau kept Kent Hare, but tossed out Wilson-Raybould and Philpott. And speaking of re-election, in February 2019, right in the midst of the Raybould-Wilson SNC-Lavalin scandal, when Liberal MP for Whitby, Ontario, Selina Caesar-Chavannes, announced that she wouldn't be seeking re-election, Trudeau lost it on her and screamed at her. Here's what she told the Globe and Mail. He was yelling. He was yelling that I didn't appreciate him, that he'd given me so much, Caesar-Chavannes said. Now, I would probably disagree with Caesar-Chavannes on probably just about everything. But I would agree with her that it was her hard work that got her elected in Whitby, and her male boss shouldn't be taking credit for any of it. And for her honest interview in the Globe and Mail, and for not keeping her mouth shut and hiding the secrets of the bad behavior of her male boss like a good little girl, Caesar-Chavannes was effectively booted right out of the Liberal caucus too. But in recent photographs, you can see that Trudeau was doing his hands-on pickup artist thing with her now, because he's trying to put out the firestorm that is Caesar-Chavannes well in advance of the 2019 fall election. Now, let's go back to the very beginning. to Creston, British Columbia in the summer of 2000. According to an unsigned op-ed published in the Creston Valley Advance paper, Trudeau groped a female reporter who was covering the local Kokanee Summit Music Festival and who was also on assignment for the Vancouver Sun and the National Post. Trudeau told the young woman, "If I had known you were reporting for a national newspaper, I never would have been so forward." Oh, really? So he would have only molested less powerful women with smaller platforms? You know, like a predator picking off the weaker gazelles, I guess. The reporter, Rose Knight, confirms the Kokanee grope, as it is now known, did indeed happen as reported. Knight's editor also confirms that Knight came to her distressed about her encounter with Trudeau. For other people, Justin Trudeau has a zero-tolerance approach and believes the women, removing at least 4 men from caucus since he became leader for far less. But for himself, well, he has excuses, like these here.
Like I said, I do not feel that I acted inappropriately in any way, but I respect the fact that someone else might have experienced that differently.
I could list so many more instances of Justin Trudeau's fake feminism, double standards, and pickup artist impropriety. But who wants to watch a 2-hour-long video of Justin Trudeau, except maybe Justin Trudeau? Regular viewers will know that while I'm no shrinking violet, I'm also not a feminist. But the Liberals tell me they are, and they claim to care about these sorts of women's issues. Now, I just told you these facts, but I want to tell the whole world. And I really want to remind the Liberals and their loyal Liberal voters that because it's 2015 was just a meaningless slogan, a promise of feminism that Justin Trudeau had no intention of ever living up to. And to do that, to tell everybody, I need your help. I want to drive a billboard truck around espousing Justin Trudeau's fake feminism. I want to drive it around the places where I know Liberals congregate, like Ottawa. I love billboard trucks because I think they're so fun, they're effective, and they're visually impactful. I think Cian Bexte's Commie Hunter truck exposing failed communist candidate Anne McGrath, who was running for the NDP in Calgary, actually flipped a riding for the United Conservative Party in Alberta's recent election. We do all of our graphic designing in-house, so we'll save a lot of money that way. But hiring a billboard truck for a day, well, it's kind of expensive, especially if you want to do it for a couple of days or in a couple of different locations. It's going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars, about $1,900 a day in each city we take the truck to. Now, if you are able to donate to cover the cost of hiring a billboard truck to drive around to tell the entire world what a phony fake feminist Justin Trudeau has been and continues to be, go to Feminist.com. Trudeau duped a lot of well-meaning women with his promises of sunny ways and his lies about believing all women. So this woman here, well, she wants to fight back. Donate today at fakefeminist.com. I want to tell the whole world what a fake feminist Justin Trudeau is, and I would love to get a billboard truck to spread the message, but these things do cost money. If you can donate today to help cover the cost to have a billboard truck spread the message about what a fake feminist Justin Trudeau is, go to fakefeminist.com.